Hello, insurance agents. My name is Carlos Rivera, President and CEO of Modern Wealth Management, and I'm here today to share with you my napkin presentation. Now, typically, this is a presentation that I would give on a client meeting, whether it be in their home or at the office, or maybe I'm just speaking to a family member or a friend, or whenever I come across a new prospect, whether it be at a bar or at a restaurant, and they ask me, Carlos, what is it that you do? Normally, when I'm asked that question, I would answer it with, I teach families how to save, make, and protect their money. Now, let's say for today's example that the prospect in question is named John. I would then ask John, do you save money? Now, whether John tells me, yes, he does save money, or maybe he doesn't save money, I would then ask, well, John, if you were to save money, where would you put it? Or where do you put it? 9 out of 10 times, John is going to tell me that he puts his money in the bank, whether that be in a checkings account, in a savings account, in a CD, or some type of bank product. I would then ask, well, John, why do you put your money at the bank? Most of the time, John is going to tell me because it is because it's safe. It's a safe place to put your money, which he's not wrong. I mean, ever since we're young, our parents, our grandparents, our teachers, society as a whole have taught us that the bank is a safe place to put your money, and they're not wrong. Now, John, why is your money safe at the bank? Do you know? And whether he does or he doesn't, I'm going to explain to him that his money is safe in the bank thanks to a company called the FDIC. Yeah, you read it right. The FDIC. You may have seen the plaques, the silver plaque on the front door when you walk into the bank, or have you ever spoken to a teller or a banker? They always have a little silver plaque that says FDIC. Now, what the FDIC stands for is the Federal Depository Insurance Corporation. It's basically an insurance company through the federal government that says as long as you got less than $250,000 in one of these accounts, we're going to back it up 100%. That meaning the bank can burn down, the bank can get robbed, the bank can go out of business, and the FDIC will kick in and protect your money, right? But what most people fail to realize is because it's an insurance on your money, that insurance isn't free. The way the bank charges you for that insurance is by taking your deposits, reinvesting them, making 10, 20, 30% returns, and then turning around and giving you 0.09% on average. Now, to add insult to injury, not only are they giving you point nothing of your after using your money, they're giving you point nothing percent back in interest. They're also going to tax you on that money. So not only did you have to pay taxes on the money when you got paid, whether it be through your employer, or maybe you had to pay taxes at the end of the year on your federal and your state taxes for the money that you put into those accounts. You're going to get taxed on the money that you gain in interest. And then when you go to take the money out and you go to spend the money, they actually also charge you a sales tax. So you're getting taxed all around. That's why, well, yeah, 80% of America, this is all they would ever know. It's the top 15% of America that goes to learn about products like 401k whenever they get a job at a major company or major corporation, or maybe they work for the government and they'll get a 403b, or maybe they're self-employed and they set up an IRA account. Right? All these accounts have one thing in common: they're tax deferred, meaning unlike the bank where you got to pay taxes to put the money into the account, these you can actually put the money in before you pay any taxes. You could actually put the money in, let it grow, and you don't pay taxes. You defer your taxes to the back end, so you pay taxes when you go to disperse the money, when you go to take the money out, right? But being that the money is pre-tax, there comes some rules with this money. The first rule is you can't use it before you're 59 and a half years old. And you have to use it before you're 72 years old. If not, they're going to charge you a 10% penalty on your money. Right? And being that your money is locked in and you can't touch it, you better pray that the market doesn't crash like it did in 2020, like it did back in 2008. You better pray that that doesn't happen right before you go to retire, because it is a volatile product, meaning when the market goes up, your money does well, but when the market crashes, so does your money. But don't get me wrong, it's still a great product, just because unlike the bank that doesn't give you 0.0 nothing percent interest, on average, you can expect over 30 years a 2 to 4% return in your 401k, your 403b, so on and so forth. All right. Now, the top 5% of America, the wealthy, the people that have over $500,000 to invest, that are making millions of dollars a year, the top 5%, they learn about products where you never lose money. Products like Roth IRAs, IULs, where you can really put your money in, not pay your taxes up front. These are what we call tax advantage products. Like the opposite of a tax deferred product. A tax deferred product, you don't pay taxes on the money until you go to disperse the money and take the money out. In tax advantage products, you pay your taxes up front so that later on in the future, when you go to pull the money out, you don't pay taxes then. All right? Let me give you an example on that. Let's say you were a farmer, right? And I came as a businessman and I walked up to your farm and I said, John, I love the land you have here. I have some seeds. How about I give you the seeds that I have? You plant them in the land that you have. You grow these crops, and then after you harvest and you sell them all, we split everything you made 50-50, right down the middle. Right? John, being a farmer and knowing that you can go out, buy a bag of seeds for a couple of bucks, plant them yourself, and then keep all of the profits to yourself, would you take my offer? No, nobody would, right? Most people wouldn't. And that's why these top 5% of people learn about products like Roth IRAs and IULs that are tax advantaged, where you pay your own taxes up front so that later in the future, you don't have to split that money with nobody. You keep it for yourself. On average, these accounts gain about 8%. Could even be as high as 12% a year. Well, when you compare that to the point nothing that you're getting at the bank, it makes a huge difference. To give you an idea, have you ever heard of the rule of 72? The rule of 72 is how you calculate compound interest. If you were to take 72 and divide it by the interest rate, let's say you got the best bank in the world and they give a 1% savings account, right? You would take 72 divided by that 1%, and it's going to give you the approximate number of years it takes for your money to double. So if you put $1,000 into a bank account today, into a 1% savings, which doesn't exist, but you put $1,000 into a 1% savings account today, right? In 72 years, you'll have $2,000, right? Where in an IUL, to keep the numbers simple, let's say you're getting an average of 10%, right? And you take 72 divided by the 10%, now your money's doubling every 7 years, right? So you put $1,000 in it today, in 7 years you have $2,000, in another 7 years you'll have $4,000, so on and so forth. All right. And the best part about this product is, unlike your 401k, there are no penalties. Meaning you can use the money when you need it, not pay any taxes, and pay no penalties. Now, John, I'm not sure if you've heard of these products before, but now knowing what you know, where would you save your money?